Hey there, I'm Brooke. Not too long ago, my life was pretty typical. I played basketball for the high school girls team, had a thing for photography, and was dating the absolute sweetest guy, Andrew. I guess my story wouldn't be on Private Diaries channel if it were easy, right? Well, let me spill the beans. I'd only known Andrew for a little while. It felt straight out of a romantic movie. Me wandering the city, snapping pictures from my collection, when, out of nowhere, this intimidating bully showed up around the corner, grinning wickedly as they came toward me. I wanted to run away, but fear froze my legs in place. Luckily, there was this amazing stranger nearby who swooped in like a hero from a fairy tale, sending the bully packing.
You're lucky I'm the feeling kind now, or you'd be in trouble.
Suddenly, the sky locked eyes with me, and it was like I got struck by Cupid's arrow.
Are you all right? Let me walk you home. My name is Andrew.
After that, Andrew and I began seeing each other. We clicked right away. He wanted to go to the same college as me and was on the city's basketball team. His integrity won me over. Even my dad, who's the college president, really liked Andrew and supported my decision. Things were going well until I noticed Andrew seemed off. He was down all the time, gloomier than a storm cloud. Is everything all right? Turns out, Patrick, his basketball team's captain, was getting to him.
That narcissistic jock is jealous of my athletic talent and is always picking on me. I think he sees me as competition and wants to kick me off the team. And I'm tired of him showing off his cap, signed by Michael Jordan.
Andrew showed a photo from the game where their captain was posing in that cap. Yeah, he didn't exactly strike you as a nice guy. Typical bully. No worries, if he's a jerk, karma will catch up to him. Andrew's team was in a qualifying tournament that day, aiming for a shot at the big championship. Winning meant a solid grant and a chance to get into a top-notch college. I knew this game meant the world to Andrew, so I was there to cheer him on. Except he spent the whole game on the bench. After their win, the captain did this ridiculous victory dance in his cap and then had the nerve to laugh at Andrew. What's his deal? Afterward, Andrew complained that Patrick had benched him and wouldn't let him play. Don't feel bad. Patrick will get what's coming to him. A couple of days later, Andrew stopped by after training. He seemed worn out and anxious, so I stepped out to grab him some lemonade. As I headed to the kitchen, a police car cruised down the street outside. I couldn't help but wonder what was going on. Just as I finished pouring the lemonade, Andrew hollered from the hallway that he was leaving.
Brooke, I have to go now. I'll see you later.
He appeared really nervous, which was unusual. I suspected it was Patrick getting on his nerves. Last night, as I scrolled through my phone, I stumbled upon a local news story. Apparently, someone had swiped high-end items from a fancy sports store, racking up a hefty sum. Luckily, they detained the thief already. They attached a surveillance clip, but the person had a cap hiding their face. However, I recognized the cap. It was signed by Michael Jordan. I had no doubt it was Patrick behind it all. I knew karma really does its thing. Now Patrick was off to jail instead of the championship. I immediately called Andrew to break the news. But for some reason, his mom picked up the phone. She said something that nearly knocked me off my feet. The cops showed up at our house a couple of hours ago and arrested Andrew. What happened? I don't really know. What a nightmare. I was really worried, so I hurried to the police station. The officer there told me that Andrew got arrested for stealing from a sports store. That's impossible! The security cameras showed a different guy wearing the cap.
I can't discuss the details of the investigation with you, but trust me, the police know what they're doing.
Luckily, they let me talk to Andrew for a minute. He swore he didn't do anything wrong. It was Patrick who wanted to get rid of the competition and set me up.
Brooke, you're my last hope. I have to prove Patrick's behind it. My future is at stake.
I believed my perfect boyfriend couldn't have committed a crime, so I assured him I'd help him get out of there. I will not rest until justice is served. I was up half the night figuring out how to expose Patrick. It's not simple to corner a big guy like him. I have to be sneaky and get up close. But how on earth do I do that? I fell asleep, mulling over that very question. In the morning, I got an idea when I noticed Andrew's team searching for someone new to fill his spot. Luck was smiling at me today. I was always good at basketball, so I just had to disguise myself as a guy and ace the tryouts. I found a wig from a Halloween costume, then raided my dad's closet to create a decent look. I made a pretty cute guy.
What's up, bro?
After practicing a bit, I headed to the tryouts where everyone had to impress the coach and team captain. When my turn came, Patrick burst out laughing.
Hey, kiddo, you seem a bit lost. This is for a sports team, not a preschool. You might be too small and fragile for our team.
Oh yeah?
How about that?
I spun the ball on my finger and casually tossed it into the basket without even glancing. Everyone was impressed by my skills, and they gladly accepted me onto the team.
Hey, I take that back. You're awesome, little man. By the way, what's your name? Brooke. Brian. Welcome to the team, Brooke Brian.
Yes, first phase of my plan, check. I became Brian, and I started training to prepare for the championship. The tough part was still ahead, masking my dislike for Patrick and somehow becoming pals with him.
Hey, Captain, where's your famous cap signed by Michael himself? Oh man, I wish I knew that. Someone stole it the other day, and that sucks. I mean, the cap used to bring me good luck at games.
Can you believe that jerk? Lying to me and not even blinking an eye? I was sure he was hiding that cap somewhere. It was crucial evidence to prove Andrew's innocence. I had to find it. A little later, I waited for everyone to leave, went into the empty locker room, and searched Patrick's locker. Okay, Brooke, you gotta think like a cap. Where would you be if you were a cap? It's no use. Other than sweaty sneakers and nutrition bars, there was nothing else there. Damn, he must be hiding it at home.
Who hides what at home?
Oh my gosh. Patrick walked in right at that moment. I quickly closed his locker and began sweating nervously.
Yeah, my girlfriend's dad isn't exactly thrilled about us dating. He keeps her away from me whenever I visit. Oh, I see. Those girls can drive anyone crazy, right? Why are you still here? The team captain has to practice harder than anyone else.
I tried to sneak out before Patrick started to change, but suddenly the guy called me.
Bro, are you seriously shaving your legs?
Definitely. Makes me more aerodynamic, and I'm lightning fast when I'm out on the court.
Really? I'll have to try that.
Phew, I think he bought it. I kept showing up for practice, and it surprised me how everyone, even Patrick, was pretty cool with me. No one was picking on the new guy, and the team captain was respected by everyone. No one saw him as a show-off. It got me thinking, maybe this guy wasn't all that bad. I tried asking Patrick about Andrew, but he brushed it off.
I don't want to kill the mood talking about that troublemaker.
Why were they so against Andrew? I was close to finding out. So, to keep the investigation rolling, I invited myself to Patrick's place. You know, to play Xbox. Secretly, I hoped I'd find the cap.
No problem, Brian. Stop by tonight and grab some chips.
I got to his house on time, and to my surprise, Patrick's room was full of stunning photos. Wow, those pictures are so vibrant and full of life.
Do you really like it? I took these pictures myself. It's my little hobby.
Isn't it wild? Patrick, despite his tough look, finds beauty in the simplest things. I got sidetracked and shared some photos from my phone. We lost track of time, chatting about sports, art, and our inspirations while playing console games. It was surprising to discover how much we had in common. As the evening wound down, out of the blue, Patrick confessed that he saw me as his closest friend.
High five for bro bonding. Male bros forever.
I felt myself blushing because I was starting to fall for Patrick, but I pushed those thoughts away. Come on, Brooke, focus. You're here for Andrew. Once the captain left the room, I searched every corner. Yet again, I came up empty-handed. Patrick must have hidden the cap in some secret spot. I got a call from Andrew this morning asking how the investigation was going. I'm doing the best I can. Hang in there a little longer.
I'm counting on you, Brooke. Get me out of here.
Talking with Andrew brought me back to reality, and I kept an eye on Patrick. I soon realized that he went to the same place every day at the same time. That's suspicious. Maybe this is where he's hiding his evidence. The next time Patrick headed to his hideout, I tagged along. All of a sudden, he showed up at the orphanage's sports field and began coaching the boys there. I turned out to be a lousy spy, because at some point, Patrick noticed me and called me over to him.
Hey, Brian, come play with us. Let's show the kids how it's done.
Once again, I lost track of time hanging out with Patrick. We were shooting hoops and just having a blast. I was trying not to fall for our team's captain, but I guess it was kind of too late. Patrick had won over my heart. He turned out to be way better than I expected. The kids loved him like he was Santa Claus and called him Coach Pat. It's a shame he had framed Andrew. Coach shows up here at exactly the same time every day to play with us. He hasn't skipped a single game yet. Wait, every day at the same time? Guys, I'm gonna step back for a minute. When I grabbed my phone and checked the surveillance video, it had the exact time stamped on it. Turns out, Patrick wasn't at the store during the crime. He was busy coaching the boys then. That's a solid alibi. It made me wonder if someone else had set Andrew up. The day after, I came back to practice as Brian, and Patrick got us all hyped up with team spirit.
We've got an important match coming up. We've gotta step it up, guys.
After we warmed up, we kicked off the game. But wouldn't you know it, luck wasn't on my side that day. When I took my next shot and leaped like crazy, my wig decided to take a leap of its own. Uh-oh, I was in trouble. Everyone was so mad when they discovered I was actually a girl named Brooke. Patrick took it hardest.
I can't believe it. I considered you my best friend.
He kicked me off the team without even giving me a chance to explain myself. That sucks. Feeling down, I headed home, and then another bad thing happened. I saw the bully Andrew had protected me from earlier. I hesitated, feeling scared and wanting to flee. But then, out of the blue, the guy began speaking to me.
Hold on, I'm not here to cause you any trouble. Andrew actually wanted to talk to you. He sort of made me act like a bully so he can impress you, like some fearless knight.
What are you on about?
He's a slippery type. If you don't believe me, visit the school we attended before Andrew got kicked out. You'll hear loads about him there.
Of course, I didn't just believe this stranger, but I still went to that school anyway. I asked around about Andrew and I learned some incredible things. Andrew really wanted to get into a top college. But school and sports weren't his thing. He befriended people for his advantage, even pressuring teachers for better grades. Then, some scandal got him kicked out of the school and everyone felt relieved.
I heard Andrew pulled some sneaky moves to join the basketball team, hoping it would get him to college.
The other day, he was boasting about scoring with the president's daughter to up his odds of getting into college.
What?
So Andrew was just using me? What a jerk! Now I realized he was benched because he was terrible at basketball. Apparently, he was planning on framing Patrick to become the captain himself. But it all went wrong, and he landed himself in jail. As I sat in my room, tossing the ball against the wall, trying to process everything, the ball unexpectedly fell and ended up rolling under my bed. Leaning over to retrieve it, I spotted Andrew's gym bag tucked away. Inside were the stolen items along with Patrick's cap. Can you believe it? Turns out, Andrew hid evidence right after the crime, somewhere the cops wouldn't bother looking. What a total jerk! I picked up the stolen items and I took them to the police station.
Thank you for your help, Brooke. This evidence and the store photo will be enough to prove Andrew's guilt in court.
That's how I learned about the person who'd spotted Andrew at the crime scene and had snapped a picture. The cops later identified the guy in the photo and took him into custody. That's why Andrew's attempt to pin it on Patrick with the cap didn't work out. I was allowed to talk to Andrew again. I broke up with him and I told him I'd found out the truth about him. You brought this on yourself. Goodbye.
This isn't over. You'll all get what's coming to you.
A week passed, and I began to think clearly again. That day was a big basketball championship, and I wanted to wish Patrick luck and return his cap. But he still ignored me. And then I got this news on my feed that said Andrew had escaped from custody as he was transported to court. They had found a note in his cell that said Patrick ruined my shot at a successful future. Now I'll wreck his. My heart was racing. I just had this gut feeling that something really bad might happen at the match. So I grabbed the cap and I sprinted to the stadium. I went looking for my former teammate to caution him about Andrew's revenge plot. But shockingly, Patrick wasn't with the boys.
The captain mentioned your message and that you wanted to talk. He took off about an hour back and now he's nowhere to be found. He's not picking up calls.
What? He blocked me. I can't even send messages to Patrick. The team was called onto the court on speakerphone, but they were one player short. Help us out. You're our last hope.
Be our captain just this once.
I couldn't let the guys down. So I changed back into a guy, put on Patrick's cap, and I went out onto the court.
Let's get out there and show everyone we rule this basketball court.
Our practice had paid off as we secured a resounding victory. It was a moment to remember. In the midst of our triumph, I spotted an irate Andrew in the stands.
You won after all.
Guys, get him! It's an escaped convict! The guys from the team helped apprehend him and called the police. Then, Andrew admitted to luring Patrick into the basement and locking him there, while the others had waited for the police. Me and one other guy freed our captain. He thought his absence had cost the team the game and was really down. But a teammate told him that they'd actually won.
But how? Thanks to Brooke. She stepped in for you.
Patrick looked at me in surprise, and I handed him back his lucky cap. It's yours, Captain. All right. I guess I'll be going now.
Wait, Brooke. Stay for the award ceremony. You brought us luck, and you're my best friend.
Just a friend? Instead of answering, he pulled me to him and kissed me. It was a really sweet moment. Andrew got what he deserved, and Patrick and I started dating, and are still coaching the boys at the orphanage together. I've realized that beneath all that muscle, there's a really kind heart. Appearances can be deceiving, huh? And hey, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.